There's absolutely no way you're gonna go through this life without disagreeing with someone, unless you're a robot. When me and Ayo got married, I used to think, because we argued a lot, in the workplace, we need to disagree in intelligent ways. I used to always get at Ayo because I felt like he shouts. If you jump and if you react in a way, every time you disagree with someone, guys, I promise you, you'll be out of job, you'll be out of friends. Even your husband or wife, they'll not be coming home at night. They'll be staying outside, going to a friend's house. Thought that me and Ayo, we were not a good team because we always used to argue. Well, hello. We disagree, but we do it with respect. We have conflict, but it's healthy conflict. Then I thought to myself, no, we can't be going back on. This is a workplace. First of all, I was annoyed that Ayo was even there. Just think before we speak. Do your best to be at peace with everybody. Yeah? No one being like you. Flaws are different nuances that make us very difficult to be around. And this is even with the person that is perfect or holy or, good in every sense of the word. Everyone get problem is what I like to, that's the baseline of everything. And it's so funny because like Ayo mentioned, we've been going through this project that, is just really, really tasking for us. And we're dealing with so many people. And it's when you're dealing with other people that you actually realize that, God, some people are actually not normal. And then it brings out the abnormality in you as well. So even sometimes when you say, I'm gonna really try, I'm gonna really not try to raise my voice, or I'm really gonna just have a conversation. Someone will say something and you're like, no. An example being road rage. Who suffers from road rage here? You're redeemed. Well, you can join Ayo's club. Because I personally have diagnosed him with road rage. Why? Let me tell you why. And maybe it's because I'm not that confident on the road, so I automatically think that it's probably my fault. I'd probably done something. But Ayo apparently has been driving since he's like 12. So he's very confident on the road. And sometimes when you can be calm, and I'm at the front of the car with him, and he's very calm. He's just doing what he has to do, driving, and then maybe something, and then I will see something, and I'll be in my heart, I'll be like, I hope Ayo didn't see that, because that will trigger him. Key example being yesterday, he came out, and he was not in the wrong at all. Then, this white guy came this way, and he went like this. So we all know what that means. In my heart, I was like, I hope Ayo didn't see that. I hope he didn't see that. I hope he did. So all Ayo said was, get out. And I was like, oh, baby, so you didn't see what he said? He said, what did he say? I said, he did this. Oh! It was like it turned something in him. But my point being that he was fine. He was absolutely fine. It was just that behavior in someone else can trigger something in you. And that's how relationships are. Imagine that's with someone that you've never seen before in your life. What about people that you care about? What about people that have an opinion in your life and you actually care what they have to say? What about people that you love or people that you are in love with? We will disagree with one another. Relationships mean that we have to adapt, we have to communicate, we have to trust people, we have to respect people, we have to compromise. And on top of that, we have other people's opinions, we have outside influences. There's absolutely no way you're going to go through this life without disagreeing with someone, unless you're a robot, unless even people who are mute, you still disagree with people. So unless you're a robot, you are going to disagree with people. Now, the problem we have is that we think disagreements automatically mean we are wrong or disagreements are wrong. So just sign of a show of hands. If you disagree with your, let's say, partner, for instance, is that a sign of an unhealthy relationship? No? Are we agreed? Funny enough, for me, when me and Ayo got married, I used to think, because we argued a lot, I used to think that we're not meant to be. We're not meant to be. Because I couldn't understand how you can love someone or be in love with someone, but yet you argue with them all the time. I used to think like that is a fundamental problem. And I used to think this marriage is probably not going to work, because if we're arguing like this, what's left. But that's actually not the case. Disagreements are needed to grow. Disagreements are needed for relationships to move to a new level. Disagreements are actually needed to even understand each other. You know, someone once said to me that, you know, if you're arguing about the same thing 5 years later, then that's a problem. But if you have an argument with someone, the idea is to understand where you went wrong and how not to do it again. So that takes us to the myths with disagreement. So what kind of myths do we think? A myth is basically something that is not true, but we think it's true. So I used to always get at Ayo because I felt like he shouts. He actually shouts, but I know I also shout. So it would be like, okay, you're talking loud, so I'm gonna talk loud. And then we're both talking loud. Then we end up shouting. And why last night was a big win for us is because nobody was shouting. Like, it was actually 3 a.m. And, you know, coming from a family who's very loud, my family is very loud. So if you don't shout, nobody will hear you. You actually need to shout for your voice to be heard. Same with Ayo's family. Like, you need to talk or else you'll be at the back. Nobody will hear you. You need to talk. So we've grown up thinking that we need to shout. But when we checked ourselves, I realized that I don't shout at my manager. He doesn't shout at his manager. You wouldn't shout at pastor, for instance. You just wouldn't do it. So that means that as humans, we can exert some sort of control. We know who we can shout at. We know the people who we can mug off. And most times, the people who we can mug off are those that are actually close to us. Like, I would never slam the door at work, but I could, if my mum is talking, I could slam the door. You know? So sometimes it's about looking inward to ourselves and really defining whether the behavior or the traits that we show is actually something that we can't deal with or we can't get rid of, or is we just don't want to let it go. Honestly, moving towards marriage for all of you guys and even just healthy relationships, if one person loses, you both lose. You actually both lose. So I'll give you guys an example. It's coming like me and I argue a lot, but we actually don't. This was like when we were much less mature, I would say. So I remember we were going to church one day and we were arguing in the car. And then when we got to church, we were like, we have negative energy. We can't, and we were both going to sing. So we're like, we went home. We went home, and that was so bad. Let me tell you why it was bad. We both lost the argument because how many people would we have ministered to that day? Maybe there was a certain song that God wanted us to sing. There was a certain person that wanted us to see us that day, and, you know, things might have changed. Their life might have been changed. And the thing about God, I know that if you are not ready to be used, He will use another person. You know, there's so many things. Maybe God was going to minister to us that day. You know, so many things could have happened, but we both lost because we wanted to win an argument. Was it worth it? 100% no. We both lost the argument, you know. So when we think that someone has to win, especially in a relationship, you actually both end up losing. There's no normal person that will be in a heated discussion with their spouse and they win, so to speak. And winning obviously means that the other person either lost some kind, is crying, upset, or, you know, angry. There's some kind of negative emotion. There's no way you can have victory over, unless you're wicked, unless you're evil. There's no way you can really have a great positive victory when the person that you love feels extremely bad. Right? So when it comes to arguments, there's really no winner and loser. You both lose. You really both lose. One myth about disagreement, just to add to the ones that we've said, is that a good team never has any conflict. That's actually not true. Remember, I told you guys that in the beginning, I thought that me and Ayo, you know, we were not a good team because we always used to argue. Well, hello. how you like me now. But no, I just say that to say is that, you know, sometimes teams, good and healthy teams, you have disagreements. Like even at work, I don't know if you guys have been on a Teams call and there's a bit of back and forth and then they end up saying, let's just take this offline. So they've agreed to disagree, basically. You know, they've had a disagreement and they've seen that, you know, this can't be resolved right here, right now, but we will go offline. Does it mean the company's lost money? No. Does it mean someone's going to get sacked? No. They are a good and a healthy team, but they just had a bit of conflict. Or another myth, rather, of disagreements is that, you know, all disagreements are bad. And I know that's not true. In disagreements, I have learned so much stuff. I might not admit it to the person right there and then. I might not say to them that, oh, you were right, you know. But I've learned so much. And, you know, I always think of, when I think of disagreements, I always think of, you know, me and Ayo in the kitchen. Like, he always likes to come into my territory. Like, leave me alone. Let me do what I need to do. But Ayo will come and he'll be like, oh, why are you doing that? And why are you doing that? And on this particular occasion, I was making moi moi. And I will be the first to say, like, there's some Nigerian dishes that, hands down, eyes closed, I'm good at.
You're making akara.
It was my, you see? You see? I was making akara. So, you know, akara and moi moi have the same base, like they're both beans, right? So I think with the akara, I'd made the mixture and then I poured oil in.
Does everyone know what akara is?
Yeah, does everyone know what akara is?
No.
Bean cake. You don't know? With ogi.
I don't even know what that is.
Bean cake
Bean cake.
and pap.
Bean cake.
No, so basically it's beans.
Fried
Damn, you don't know
beans.
this. So it looks like a cake.
It looks like a flat.
It looks like a flat, yeah. How do I even describe it?
But
Is it a Yoruba thing?
No.
I think it is.
I think it is. I've never had it.
No, maybe it is, you know. Akara, the name.
Maybe the name is
They have another name for it.
There's a different. Might be a different name.
Yeah, it's usually beans, onions, salt and pepper. No blended.
What?
Okay, so you know where we're going. So with the akara, so I'd made the mixture and then I put oil in it. Then I was like, why are you putting oil in it? And I was like, why are you here? Like, why are you here? Like, you didn't help me to make anything in the beginning, so why are you here? It's like, why are you putting oil in it? But in my heart, I was like, why am I putting oil in it? Why am I putting oil in it? Why am I putting oil in it? I'm putting it to fry. Why am I putting oil in it? And then I was like, because I always put oil in it. Then, I don't know, maybe Ayo's mum was there, or maybe it was my mum, and she was like, oh no, Okpeyemi, you're supposed to put oil in the moi moi mixture, because the moi moi is going to be cooked, because moi moi is cooked, right? So you shouldn't really put extra oil in something that you're frying. And I was just, first of all, I was annoyed that Ayo was even there. But then I actually thought about it. I was like, I've been doing this thing like this for however many years, and it took Ayo to come and disagree with my method. And I was annoyed that I was very, very annoyed that he was disagreeing with my method. But the fact is, my method was wrong. You know, and it helped me to understand, well, actually, I'm actually not that good at making akara and moi moi. The first bit, I haven't probably made it since then because of the trauma. But it helped me to understand that disagreements aren't actually bad. You being corrected to do the right thing is actually not a bad thing, you know, and depending on the relationship that you have with the person, we should as individuals be able to take it in. And I feel like sometimes that's where we struggle. We struggle with being told what to do. We struggle with being how we are told what to do. And we struggle generally with the fact that, or the possibility that we are wrong. And sometimes I believe that it comes from a place of pride. Because why would I be wrong? Because I know it all. Because I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but we're actually not. We actually, each and every one of us have a little bit of room to learn. I know definitely in cooking, I have a lot to learn. I want to, you know, really encourage us today to see a disagreement as a chance to learn, a chance to grow, a chance to develop in one area or another. I'm just going to talk on this last little bit and maybe we'll continue another. So what does disagreement without disrespect mean? So I went to actually go on try and gather a few thoughts. And what I'd put together is disagreement without disrespect means being able to have different opinions or perspectives without resorting to insults, personal attacks, or dismissive behavior. It's about recognizing that differences in viewpoints are normal and can be a healthy part of communication while still treating the other person with respect. And I feel like as Africans, we struggle so much with this. Let me tell you why. Because we already have required respect. So I am deserving of respect because I'm older than you. So that automatically means because I'm younger than you, I don't deserve respect. So then we essentially fob off or dismiss behavior. Let's say Tira says to me, Auntie, let me think, this hair, you could have got something better. And I say to her, Tira, what do you know? I've been wearing weaves way before you were born. That's rubbish. That's actually rubbish. There's nothing that says in the world or anywhere that weave is by however long it doesn't make sense. I should really and truly respect Tira's opinion because maybe she's looking out for me. She wants me to look as good as her, for instance, and I should take it as, oh, Tira, do you know a good vendor? Put me on your vendor. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes we dismiss opinion because they are younger than us, and that shouldn't be the case. Some of these children, they are extremely wise. You don't even know if God has even spoken through them for you. Key example, Samuel and Eli. So I don't know if you guys remember the story when God first spoke to Samuel, and in fact, the load that he gave Samuel was heavy. He basically said, your mentor is not doing what he's supposed to do. And if he doesn't get his acts together, I am going to do exactly what I'm going to do. So and bear in mind, this was the first time that God was speaking to Samuel. So when Samuel now got the message from God and Eli asked him, what did God say? He didn't want to say anything. I feel like he didn't want to say anything because, brother, you're way older than me. What exactly am I going to say to you? How am I going to relate to you that God is not happy with you? You are the one that taught me. You are the gods that I know, basically. And when Eli asked him, he said, oh, he tried to dodge. Then Eli was like, if you don't tell me, I'll actually curse you. And when he told him, Eli, I can't even remember what Eli said, but I know that Eli didn't chastise him. Eli could have said, what do you know? Who are you? This is the first time God is even speaking to you. What are you saying? Eli didn't say that. He took it in. He could have disagreed with him. He could have dismissed him in one way or another, but he took it on. So I want us to always remember that, even when you are having some sort of disagreement with someone, don't watch what you see on the outside. Don't watch what you see on the outside, because that's where personal attacks come from. That's where dismissive behavior comes from. That's where we start saying, is it not you? Who are you? That's where we start having that pride. That's where we start thinking we are better than them. Fact remains, if someone disagrees with you, if someone has a difference of opinion from you, it's actually okay. You don't have to force people to disagree, to agree with you. And you certainly don't have to disrespect people because they disagree with you. I'm a huge fan, or I always push that. When someone has to go low, when they have to insult you, your appearance or anything like that, is because they actually have nothing to say. Their argument was weak in the first place, And I love when people disagree in a intelligent way. And remember, I've said it to you guys before, in the workplace, we need to disagree in intelligent ways. Leave them thinking that, wow, I should actually have not spoken to her like that. I'll give you guys an example. Sorry, I'm full of examples. So I have, and this will be the last example, and then we will break up. So at work, I asked someone to do something in another team, and I think I asked just before I was leaving, so I was about to log off. I asked and I said, "Oh, can you have this to us by maybe 10 a.m. the next day?" So I was leaving. You know, when you're leaving, you're ready to go. You go toilet, come back, then the person that I asked something, her director, someone who's more senior than me, director said to me, "How do you expect me to do this in an hour?" And I was like, "I didn't ask you to do it in an hour. I didn't even ask you to do it. I did." So and I said, "We'll do it you can do it the next day." And she was like, "I have a 9 a.m. meeting the next day." I said, "Okay, what I'm asking you to do is, you've already done what you're supposed to do, but I'm just asking you to confirm what I have said to make sure we're aligned." And honestly, guys, it would have taken maybe 2 minutes. And then she's like, "Yeah, but I think it's unfair for you to ask me to do it in an hour." So I took my bag off because I was already pissed off that you even, instead of you to call me privately or talk to my manager, why are you talking to me? So I took my bag off. I said, "Okay, let's go through this together then, shall we?" So I sat down, said, "So what do you need? Do you need more time? Is that what it is?" She was like, "No." So she was just going around in circles. And in that time, her manager came back and said, "Oh, all of this is fine. Everything is good to go." So I looked at her and I was like, I just held myself back, because sometimes, and maybe this is a struggle that I have as a black girl at work, I don't want to be that black girl. So I really had to hold my mouth. And then she came to me after and she was like, "I'm really sorry, like, you got the brunt of that and you shouldn't have." And I said, "Yeah, because if I gave you the same energy that you gave me, we wouldn't be having this conversation." And she was like, "No, you can give it back to me." But then I thought to myself, no, we can't be going back on. This is a workplace. Do you know? So can you see the type of mentality she had? She thought that I would dash it back to her. No, me, I need my job. I need my job. I need my check at the end of the month. So, but I just thought to myself that you wanted me to go down that spiral of a certain way that black girls behave. And I did not give you that. So which resulted in her writing an email to me to say she's sorry because she knows that she messed up. Yeah? So again, I just give that as an example that there's ways we can behave. I know how I could have behaved as Ope Davis, but I gave them OP. That's what I gave them. That's what I gave them at work, yeah? Because if you jump and if you react in a way every time you disagree with someone, guys, I promise you'll be out of job, you'll be out of friends. Even your husband or wife, they'll not be coming home at night. They'll be staying outside, going to friend's house, you know? So I just want to implore us today to just think before we speak. We disagree, but we do it with respect. We have conflict, but it's healthy conflict. You don't like the person, it's okay. God said, be at peace with all men. Do your best to be at peace with everybody. Yeah?
My caramel choo-choo, no one be like you.